Hi folks, Bob Zimmerino from Zimmerinos at Home. Obviously, Montana Grizzlies fan. Now the day that we're going to be doing our next food release from Zimmerinos at Home will be the third Thursday in November. We couldn't do the first Thursday because of an obligation Amy had. The second Thursday, or the second week, the kitchen is actually unavailable. So the third week in November. Now this means that food release will come 2 days before the Grizz Bobcat game. So here's a perfect thing for your backyard barbecue, your guests at the house, or your tailgate. If the Grizz go into the playoffs, because we're doing this in the middle of October, we don't have any way of knowing if that'll happen. But if they do, there will be more tailgates. So you might want to pay close attention to this one. It's a good one. We're going to do a homemade Italian sausage sandwich in two different styles. We've got a link sausage here, and we've got a pattied sausage here. Now notice I made the patty oblong because I didn't want to confuse it with my burgers, and it will go better with the bread that we have. I'm going to start by taking the link and dropping it into some boiling water, and I only need it to be in there for 3 to 4 minutes anyway. And the idea is to get it to start cooking and then be able to finish it on the grill without having to overcook the outsides to get the inside finished. We're going to talk about mise en place. Mise en place is French for basically putting it in its place, but it's a kitchen term, and it means having everything ready that you're going to use so that when the time comes to use it, you have it right at your hand. For this dish, because it's an Italian sausage sandwich, I wanted to have some peppers and onions sauteed to go over the top. And of course, you're going to saute peppers and onions. Why wouldn't you put in the garlic? Come on, I'm Italian. For the very top, some provolone cheese slices. Then I also have this. This is a homemade fresh tomato sauce made with garden fresh tomatoes, some oven roasted or fire roasted chilies, some fresh basil from our garden, and then I sauteed onions and of course garlic, added this to that, little tomato paste to thicken it up. We have a beautiful fresh tomato sauce. Alright, I'm turning off that stove. I'm going to grab my pan and my tongs and bring it over here to Mr. Barbecue. By the way, if you're one of those people that believes that you should never clean your barbecue, don't invite me for dinner. A clean barbecue is essential. I mean, you're cleaning your kitchen tools, you should do them correctly. So we're going to set that right there out of the way. We're going to come back over here. I'm going to move the wok onto here. Now, because there's some spatter involved with this, I'm going to put on my apron, which of course is Zimmerinos at Home apron. So this outdoor kitchen idea, this used to be our hot tub area right here. I can't use a hot tub anymore for reasons I don't care to discuss, but we took it out, and my friend Charlie, who's running the camera, and I set up the basic underlaying, the floor underneath, to make sure that there was not too much of a gap between the studs. And then my friend Russ came over and we basically put in a kitchen floor. Then Amy, my gorgeous wife, did all the tile work, and we now have an outdoor kitchen. It's actually a lot of fun. So that stuff's cooking. We're going to start this up again. I like cooking with propane because it cooks hotter than natural gas, and it makes it much easier to deal with outdoors if you have regulated propane. This is my opinion, not everybody's. Some people want those huge crazy flames, but I think that they're dangerous, and you don't need it to do what we're doing. This will basically give you plenty of BTUs to get the job done. So I want that to heat up a little bit. I'm going to put a little pepper in here, black pepper, for flavor, and I'm going to put a little salt in here, not only for flavor, but it helps reduce spatter. So we're going to let that oil heat up, and the best way to test your oil to make sure it's hot enough is to drop something into it, and you'll see when it's ready because it'll start to bubble up. It's already starting to bubble up right there on the bottom, but you want it to get good and hot before you add your peppers and onions. Otherwise they just soak up the oil, and it doesn't do anybody any good. As it is now, when they're hot enough, you'll see that they basically just start attacking the food. They start cooking and searing and keeping all the flavors inside the food, and that's the whole idea of what we're doing here. Let's check over here and see how we're doing with the sausage. I'm going to add the patty to it now. Look at that, getting some nice, beautiful grill marks. We want that to continue. We're going to close that. Going to come back over here. Oh, yes. So now, when you take a look at this, you'll see that it's really kicking up a fuss, and that's exactly what we want it to do. So we're going to add some more onion to it. Onion is slightly harder than green pepper, so I usually add it before green pepper, but always think about adding your harder vegetables first, your softer vegetables after. Oh, and look at that, beautifully, cooking up beautifully. So we'll add green pepper to that. I want a pretty even ratio of green pepper and onion. And right as they start to finish, because garlic is small, being it's minced, we'll add the garlic and we'll give it a chance to brown up a little bit right before the end of the dish. So we're going to let that cook for a minute. Let's go back over here and take a look and see what we got. I can see right here, from right at this vantage point right here, that Charlie's drooling. Alright, here comes the peppers and onions sauteing. And you don't want them to be too sauteed, but you want them to be sauteed enough. So what is enough? Enough is when your onions get opaque rather than solid color. Too much is when they just become limp, and to me that's, yeah, you push the button a little too far on that one. I'm going to fire up over here. There we go. My red sauce. Doesn't require a lot of red sauce, by the way, for this. And if you choose not to have red sauce, I'll tell you what's really good. Stone ground mustard on the bread with this same exact sandwich. It's fabulous. You know, I put the sausage in a little bit of water at the start. You can also do it in beer, like a bratwurst. People do brats in beer all the time. My red sauce is starting to loosen up a little bit. Listen to those peppers and onions going. Oh, they're just about to where I like them. Not quite. I do like to see some searing, and oh, here's an idea. This is what I'm talking about, translucent. Like this. They still have some of their original color. They still have some texture, but they're breaking down to the point where they're no longer a raw onion and having those qualities. I'm going to add garlic to this. So looking in here, I see my sausage. Oh gosh darn, does that smell good. And it looks fabulous. Let's take a look over here. Look, you can see the sizzle on the outside. I don't know if the camera will catch that or not, but you can actually see the juices from the inside sizzling up to the top. I hear my neighbor's dog that sounds like a car that won't start. Look at how beautiful these are coming out. Color right. Finished. So we're going to take some provolone cheese, provolone. Put it right over the top. And let it melt. Alright, let's take a look and see what we got. Look at that. We're going to put that right there. Put this one here right next to it. Now we're going to top them with a little bit of red sauce. Some Italians call this red gravy. Again, a fresh tomato red sauce. Fresh tomato, fresh basil, and fire roasted chilies. How you gonna beat that? Put a little bit more sauce on, or put a little sauce on this one as well. A little bit of salt and pepper. Over the top. Peppers, onions, and garlic. We are good to go. I'm Bob Zimmerino for Zimmerinos at Home. Remember, third week in November, you could be having a tailgate for a Grizz Bobcat game just like this food. Thanks for watching.